everybody, Leighton here, back with another writing vlog. We are about, I guess this is like officially like a little over a weekend to NaNoWriMo, which is exciting. On a wing and a prayer, somehow I am on track with my writing goal. Didn't look like I would be for a little while. I got so behind because I went home for my dad's birthday, you know, and I don't know, I just kind of was busy playing with my dogs and going to movies with my parents and, you know, just hanging out with my family, and then I didn't write. So then I fell behind, and then I got back here, and then I had school, I had classes, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm never going to catch up. And not to mention, I've Dexter. Okay, you know Dexter, the show about the serial killer who kills serial killers? So a long time ago, like a couple of years ago, I started watching that show, and then, you know, I just kind of fell off of watching it. I got distracted by other things. But for some reason, very recently, I decided to like pick back up on it, and now I'm obsessed. And so literally just yesterday, Friday, I'm filming this on Saturday because yesterday when I would have filmed, I was spending the whole day watching Dexter. 10 straight hours of watching Dexter. Not healthy, not good, but you know, even then, somehow I managed to catch up on my writing goals. So, you know, it's kind of a small miracle, actually, that I am on track with my goals. Part of what really kept me going, like what made me last night finally catch up, because I've been like playing catch up over the week, you know, it wasn't just like last night I zoomed through it. I've been playing catch up, but like last night I was really trying to like catch up, mostly because I knew that today I was going to be filming this video and I didn't want to come here and report failure to you guys. I wanted to be successful, you know, because I made that whole 31 days of NaNoWriMo prep series, and I was like, I can't come to my vlog and not be caught up, you know, like that would just be awful. So I did it for you guys and for my own pride. But yeah, so today I decided to talk about what I've been kind of doing this past week and a few days, week and a half, I don't know what it is, of NaNoWriMo. So one thing that like I've come across while I'm writing is, since this is the first time I'm really writing a rough draft, like a first draft with an outline. I've written with an outline before, but it's been, after I kind of had the first draft written, then I went through and made an outline and kind of reorganized things. But this is the first time like I'm starting into a book with an outline. And one thing that I've noticed right away is that sometimes your outline doesn't exactly work once you start writing your book. Not that like it's totally wrong and it's totally off and it's totally horrible, just once you start writing, you kind of get an idea of the flow of your book. So I had certain scenes, I keep looking up there because that's where my outline is, it's on the wall. But I had certain scenes in my outline where I said that they were going to be in a certain place, and, you know, I had kind of worked it out. But as I started writing, I started realizing like, oh, but this scene would work much better here, and if I split this scene into two and I put this part here and this part here, that would work so much better. So I guess the lesson here is that, you know, your outline is great, but, you know, if you get into writing and you realize that it needs to be rearranged or something because you just, as you're writing, you realize that things would work better in a different place, don't be afraid to stray from your outline a little. Like, it is not set in stone, it is not like a binding contract. You can change it however you need to. I guess the point of the outline really, and I want to make this clear to you, is that it's not to tell you step by step what you have to write. It's just kind of a guideline that you come up with so that you can kind of stay on a certain track so that you don't stray too far away from your original goal. Because when you go into a story that you're going to write, you should have a goal, you know, and you shouldn't stray too far away from that goal, or else you're gonna come to the end of your writing, you're gonna come to the end of the book, and you might end up being like, well, this isn't what I wanted when I went into it. But at the same time, you shouldn't stick so rigidly to your goal that by the time you get to the end of it, it feels very robotic and it doesn't feel very natural. So I guess there's just kind of a balance there that I wanted to talk about today. So the way I've been using the outline, now that I've really gotten into writing the story and I understand the flow of it, is I mostly use it to keep me on track. You know, if I feel like I need to switch some things around, I don't worry about it, I just do it. And usually it's not big changes, you know, I'm not moving something from the end of my outline to like the beginning of my outline. It's usually just like a couple of note cards that get switched around every once in a while. And that's okay, and that's chill, and that shouldn't freak you out, because you have the rest of the outline that it will help you get back on track. So if I change a scene, if I move it somewhere, then I just look at my outline, I'm like, okay, now that I've gotten that scene in there, where did I want to go from here? And usually it does tie in really nicely to the next thing that I wanted to do anyway. It's not gigantic changes, it's just little things that make the story feel smoother and more enjoyable to read, I guess. So yeah, the lesson of today is just don't freak out if your outline changes a little bit. That's okay and that's good, and I tried to make that point when I made the video on outlining, is that this is not a set in stone thing, and that's exactly why I like this type of outlining in particular with the note cards, is because they can be moved around and they can be shifted and you don't feel a set in stone, whereas if you were doing a different kind of outlining, like where you typed it all out, and then that feels very much like you're stuck, you know, you've typed it all out in this way that makes it feel like a story already, whereas this feels more of like an outline, like it should, you know, it feels more of like this is what the story could be, but it can change. And also, if you want to add scenes that you hadn't previously written and put into the outline, that's totally okay too. You know, I was writing and I realized that there was just a scene that really needed to be in there. It was between my main character Cass and his mom, because in the first book I got a little bit into their relationship, but I really wanted to build their relationship. In this book I wanted to flesh it out a little bit more and just make sure that it was hitting home with the readers how close Cass and his mom are. So I added in a scene where they talked about stuff and they just had a discussion, and it also played into the rest of the story. You know, it built on information that you need later in the story. But I hadn't put that in my outline because I hadn't really thought about it. You know, I wasn't really thinking about just the relationship between Cass and his mom while I was looking at the big picture of the outline. But if there's a scene that you come up with and you realize, ooh, this could be really important, but I didn't put it in my outline, that's okay, put it in there. And maybe you'll put it in there and then a little bit down the line you'll realize, ooh, you know, that scene that I put in could work a lot better here. Move it. Do whatever you need to. This is your story. It's not like there's anybody sitting over your shoulder going, ah, but the outline says this one thing, so you can't change it, oh no. So yeah, I guess that's the lesson of the day, is about outlining. And I just, as far as like my writing has been going, aside from that, I've really been enjoying it. It's been such a long time since like I've written like a story beginning to end, you know. I've been doing a lot of like writing individual scenes for my writing classes, but I haven't really had a chance to sit down and write a book in so long. I've been editing the first book of the Caspian Chronicles forever, or at least that's how it feels, you know. I've been doing so much editing lately that like getting in, and I write linearly, with, you know, like previously, like when I was coming up with the idea for my series, I wrote like the big scenes that I was really excited about, but those were just kind of drafts, you know. By now, the way I wrote those probably wouldn't work, but you know, I kind of like just get the ideas down for the big scenes that I knew that I wanted throughout the series. But for the most part, I write linearly, you know, I write scene by scene by scene, because I'm really bad at like jumping into just like a random scene, even if I'm excited about it, because by the time I get to that scene, so much will have changed because I'm so, I'm constantly coming up with ideas. I'm a plantser, I talked about that before, where like I'm both a pantser and a planner, where I plan things, but I also just kind of, I like to explore my stories. So, you know, I lost my train of thought. I literally had to go back and watch what I just filmed because my train of thought just like dissipated. It just disappeared. Okay, but anyway, what I was saying was that, yeah, so I'm a planter, so, you know, I am constantly getting ideas, so by writing linearly, it helps me keep things consistent so that, you know, when I get to those scenes that I really want to write, I know what has happened previously. So yeah, that's basically what I was saying. Sorry about that. That just, my brain sometimes does that, where I just totally lose what I was saying. But anyway, it's been so long since I've written a book like this, and it feels so good. I missed it. I love it. Oh, writing is just the joy of my life. I love writing so much, and it's been a while, you know? Also, let's talk about something that I've been thinking about for a while here, because I just kind of want to talk it through. So I've been thinking about possibly taking a gap year or 2 years and then possibly getting a Master of the Arts in fiction writing or creative writing for multiple reasons. And I just kind of want to talk this through here because this is my place where I talk through things, so bear with me. And it might, you know, if you're in the same boat or if you've never even considered it, you know, you can hear me talk through it and see what I think about it. So the other day I have a class called Writer's Portfolio where we're learning about building your brand and building yourself as a writer, building a portfolio, etc. And I've always been the kind of person who has never wanted a career in the writing field as far as, you know, like I'd love to have a career as an author, but I don't want to have a career as a literary agent or work in a publishing house or anything that requires sitting at a desk all day and working on other people's stuff. You know, I want to work on my stuff. But my writer's portfolio teacher, he started talking about getting a master's, and when he first started talking about it, I was like, yeah, you know, I'm done with school. I'm graduating this spring, and then I'm outie forever. Like, I hate school. I've always hated school. I get straight A's, but, like, it's just, school bores me, and it's just, I hate school. I don't know. There's not much I can say about it other than that. Stay in school, kids, but you don't have to like it. But anyway, so you'd think somebody who hates school wouldn't want to keep going to school, right? Well, there was a few things that really drew me to the idea, and I'm not saying for sure that I'm going to do it, but there was just a couple of things that really drew me to the idea of getting a master's degree. First of all, I would only go if I got a fellowship, because there's certain schools that will completely waive the tuition and they'll pay you. You have to, like, teach a class, but, like, they'll pay you. And I've always been interested in teaching, but I've never been interested in teaching kids, because I'm also not a big kids person. Not that I hate kids, just that they make me uncomfortable. I mean, I like kids who are, like, 11 and older, where I feel like I can talk to them like adults, and I like babies. But the age gap, like, between there, that's just not my thing. But I really don't think I'd enjoy teaching high schoolers because they can be they can be something else. So I don't think I'd want to teach high schoolers, but I'd love to teach creative writing. You know, I did the 31 days of NaNoWriMo prep. I love teaching about writing and talking about writing. I do these vlogs where I talk about my writing, and I just think that'd be interesting. And college especially is a little bit more freeform of a way of teaching than other things. So that was the first thing that drew me to it, was learning how to teach and being paid to teach a class while also getting my fees waived. That would totally, if I got the fellowship and I got those opportunities, A+, I would do it. The second thing is that I'm trying to get to LA, and I don't know how to do that. But if I got a fellowship at a school in LA or around LA, and I was able to move out there for that, and I, you know, wasn't paying for the school, and I was getting paid to teach, plus I could probably get a part-time job aside from that, that could get me to LA, and I need to get to LA, guys, for multiple reasons, which I won't get into here, but just I need to get to somewhere where there's sunshine and Democrats. Please, dear Lord. My mom suggested that I move to Florida because we have family in Florida, and, you know, there's all the great stuff in Florida, but they voted for Trump. And I don't want to get into politics too much because, you know, you do you, I'll do me, we won't do each other, whatever. But just personally, it's not for me. I want to go to LA. That's where opportunities are, that's where things are that I want really, really badly. You know, other YouTubers are there. That's kind of where the community is. You know I just do my AuthorTube stuff, but if I could get in with like High Five Studios or help somebody like Markiplier, I say somebody like because I doubt I'd get in with him specifically, but you know, just like if I could help bigger YouTubers or whatever, that would be like a dream for me. I just love YouTube. I want to be more involved in the community. I found my niche here in AuthorTube finally after trying a million different things. But yeah, I want to get out to LA so that I can be a bigger part of this community that I've loved since I was a kid. So going to school there could totally get me there. So those are the two big reasons why I'd want to. The biggest reason why I wouldn't want to, again, I don't really like school, but getting a master's is different because the goal of getting a master's is actually writing a book. You know, your final thesis is a fully written novel. So that sounds pretty great to me. Spending 2 to 3 years working on a book there, getting it workshopped, like one specific book workshopped by people, just sounds really appealing to me. If you guys have any insight about getting a master's degree, or if you have any opinions on the fact, let me know, because I'm on the fence here right now. I just don't know one way or the other. I've been doing my research and I found some schools that would definitely work. They're very selective though, like they only let 6 people in a year, and it's like, sweet Jesus. So that's something, but yeah, just let me know what you think I should do. Help me out here because I'm kind of straddling the line at this point. I really don't know either way if the pros outweigh the cons for each, so give me your opinions, help me out, help me make a decision here because I can't do it for myself. God knows that much. And yeah, that's really all I have to talk about. That's kind of been my week. Hopefully I will stay on track from now on with my writing goals. I hopefully won't fall behind like I did. I'm gonna really work to get ahead, and that's why, again, I told you, when you can, you need to get ahead because you never know what's gonna happen that's gonna make you fall behind. Unfortunately, the thing that made me fall behind was like within the first few days of NaNoWriMo, so I couldn't really get ahead that much before that happened, but I probably could have been a little more preemptive. So yeah, just get ahead while you can so that when you inevitably fall behind, you don't really fall behind, if you know what I'm saying, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Speaking of getting ahead, there's like 2 people, 2 of my writing buddies on the NaNoWriMo website, which add me if you want to. Leighton J. Williams is my username there, just my name. But like 2 of my writing buddies, basically, I mean, at this point they probably have their 50,000 words, and I'm like, y'all, stop making me look bad, okay? No, but seriously, like, if you're here and you're one of those writing buddies, like, congratulations. I've been rooting for you this whole time. Any of my writing buddies, I'm rooting for you so much. I want you to succeed, but if you don't, no big deal, no pressure. It's all about just getting down what you can get down. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, and bell icon so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Also, make sure to follow me on all of my social medias. I have Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram. Twitter is the one I'm most active on, so, you know, if you wanna... And I got my 280 characters now, so I've been having fun with that. Just kidding. I, like, used it once, and then I haven't really used it since, but yeah, so if you wanna, you know, see me rambling about stuff like watching 10 hours of Dexter, that's where you should go. You should also hop on over to my personal blog, readwritelovefiction.com, which is where I post all of my, I write about my writing adventures a little bit, like more in depth than I do in these vlogs, where I talk about like one specific thing, and I really dig down deep into it. So if that interests you at all, go on over there. I'm going to be posting a blog post in the very near future. So look forward to that. You should also go to my official author website, LeightonJWilliams.com, which is the first place I'll be updating you guys on any progress that I'm making with the Caspian Chronicles Book 1. So if you're interested in character reveals or learning about the plot of it, those will be coming out probably closer to next year, but it never hurts to, you know, stay on the ball, keep checking in just to make sure, because that's where I'll be posting things first before I announce them here or on any of my social medias, so little incentive. And finally, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!